In this video, we will solve the problems on page 5 of your packet. These are single replacement reactions. And in a single replacement reaction, the reactants on the left side of the arrow are one element and one compound. That makes them pretty easy to recognize. So if you look at the examples down below, you'll see element with a compound, element with a compound. So that's the pattern. In predicting the products, what we'll need to do is determine which ion in the compound is the single element is trying to replace. That just means that the two substances we're going to compare, the two elements we're going to compare, have to be in the same list. So for example, in this first problem, Na plus KCl, we're going to find Na, sodium, and that's going to be on this long list. And here's sodium right here. And then we're going to look for K or Cl. Only one of them will be on the list. So here's potassium, K. So that's the first step, is to find the two things you're going to compare. What we'll need to do is to make sure that the element that's by itself is higher than the element it's trying to replace. So if sodium and potassium are competing with each other, because they're both on the same list, the winner will be the one that's higher up on the list. Well, potassium is higher on the list than sodium. So if potassium is higher in the list, then it gets to stay in the compound. So the winner gets to connect to chlorine. So since potassium is already connected to chlorine, there will be no reaction. Nothing is going to change. The potassium is going to stay connected to the chlorine, and the sodium is not going to be strong enough to be able to kick that potassium out. In the second problem, we have lithium, which is at the very, very top of the list of positive ions. And lithium is in the same list with potassium, but lithium is higher on the list. So if lithium is higher on the list, it's going to replace potassium. So you can kind of think of it as lithium coming in and giving potassium the kicks it right out of that compound. Since potassium is not on our list of diatomic elements, we don't put a little 2 after it. We would have to do that if it was one of the diatomic elements, but since potassium is not one of those elements, we just leave it like it is with a K. And then the other product is the combination of lithium with chlorine. Now, in order to put lithium and chlorine together, we do need to make sure we check the charges to see if they balance. Lithium is a +1 charge, chlorine is a -1 charge. So since lithium is +1 and chlorine is -1, those charges are already balanced. We can put lithium and chlorine together, one atom of each. In the next example, we've got bromine, Br. It's got a little 2 on there because bromine is one of the diatomic elements. And bromine is on this short list. So who else is on this short list in the reaction that we have with bromine? Well, that would be chlorine. So bromine and chlorine are on the list together, and chlorine is higher. So chlorine being stronger or near the top of the list, chlorine gets to stay in the compound. This again will be a no reaction. The stronger or the higher on the list element gets to stay in the compound. In the next one, we've got chlorine and iodine. Chlorine is stronger than iodine. Chlorine is more active than iodine. So that means chlorine's going to come in and push the iodine out, and the iodine will be all on its own. Since iodine is diatomic, it's one of the 7 elements that are diatomic, we're going to put a little 2 with that iodine. And then in order to put the chlorine and the calcium together, we will have to balance the charges. So chlorine, we already know from above that chlorine has a charge of -1. And calcium has a charge of +2. One thing to be careful of is to remember to put the calcium first, because positive ions are always written in the beginning of a compound's formula. And we will also need to notice, to make note of the chlorine charge being -1. That means we're going to need 2 chlorines in order to balance those charges. So the compound will be Ca, put the positive one first, Cl2. The next problem has copper in it. Cu is copper, and copper is right down here on our activity series list. Copper is a positive ion, just like all the rest of these in the long list. We're going to look for the other positive ion. So let's take a look and see if we can find Mg, magnesium. So here's copper, and here's magnesium. So copper and magnesium are in the same list. Magnesium is higher on the list, so magnesium gets to stay in the compound. So that will be a no reaction. In the next one, we find sodium, Na, which is way up here near the top of the list. And sodium is going to be competing with zinc. Zn is a little bit lower on the list. So sodium is more active than zinc. That means sodium, or Na, can come in and kick that zinc out and make the zinc go all by itself. Since zinc is not a diatomic element, we do not put a little 2 there. And now we need to put the sodium with the carbonate. So I'm going to use this little workspace over here to find the charges for sodium and the charge for carbonate. Sodium has a charge of +1. And carbonate, which is a polyatomic ion, carbonate has a charge of -2. That means we're going to need 2 sodiums to balance out the charge of the carbonate. So we'll have Na2CO3, 2 sodiums connected to a carbonate. And the last one, lead, Pb, is right here, pretty far down on the list, so it's not very active. And lead is competing with Mg, magnesium. So magnesium is much higher on the list, and the higher element that's on the list gets to be in the compound. So magnesium gets to stay with sulfate. Lead is not strong enough to kick it out, so we're going to write that as no reaction. One thing to be careful of when you're all finished is to make sure you count, do your atom counts to make sure that if there are any coefficients that needed to be added, that you do that. So going back up to this first reaction, I've got 1 lithium on the left, 1 lithium on the right, 1 potassium on the left side of the arrow, 1 on the right, 1 chlorine on the right, 1 chlorine on the left. So this one's all balanced. I don't need any coefficients. I'm going to check this one. 2 chlorines on the left side, 2 chlorines on the right, 1 calcium, 1 calcium, 2 iodines, 2 iodines. That one's already balanced. And now I'm going to check this one. I've got 1 zinc, 1 carbon, 3 oxygens, but 2 sodiums on the right. I need to put a 2 in front of the sodium on the left to balance the equation. So the coefficients are always the last step. Do everything else first, and when you get everything figured out, then check to see if you need any coefficients. One last comment. It does not matter which order you write the 2 products on. I could have easily written LiCl plus K. That would have been perfectly fine to write it this way. Or I could have written CaCl2 plus I2, and I could have written Na2CO3 plus Zn. So the order does not matter. As long as you are on the correct side of the arrow, the order does not matter. And that's it for single replacement.